moving forwards, I think it's quite clear that legislations are directing landlords towards five very distinct paths. So you either professionalize your landlording operation, you or you pass to a professional to manage for you, or you be lumped with hefty penalties, which no one wants, or you legitimately operate outside the Housing Act, for example, commercial, holiday rentals, social housing, or you leave.
Mm. No one really wants that though, do they?
No,
I'm
no
sure
one really
most
wants that
landlords,
either.
yeah, I'm sure most
Yeah.
landlords want to keep their legacy. There's
Mm.
reasons that people buy rental properties, not just for the income. That it's, there's other reasons,
Mm.
pension pots, to provide for their children's future, etc. So,
Mm. Sometimes it's sentimental as well. It might have been something, your childhood home that you inherited. It's just, you just don't want to, you can't let it go. But I mean, it's almost like it is a full-time job
mm,
to stay compliant when you're renting as a landlord. I would say more than a full-time job.
yeah,
So if
absolutely.
you already do a full-time job, you're balancing two full-time jobs and everything else in between as well.
Definitely. So, if you choose to stay in the private rental sector, our recommendation is that you or your professional of choice must have or do the following on this list. You must have in-depth legal knowledge. There's actually more than 170 pieces of legislation that relate to landlord and tenant law, so it's a lot to wrap your head around. Um, must operate with professionalism, high standards, and efficiency. You will need to create and follow documented processes now under the Renters' Rights Act. You need to operate to an evidence-based system, document everything. Um, you need an attitude of customer service. And I say that, what I mean is, yes, be polite and attend to the tenant's needs. But also, again, something I've seen in the HMO space previously, and I'm sure some landlords of single family homes do it as well. Your tenant is not your friend. Your tenant is your client, your customer. And so there needs to be a certain amount of professional boundaries between you and your tenant. Don't go to the house for dinner, for example. You need to maintain that separation. Um, you need to have correct deposit protection, obviously. Your safety certificates need to be in place and updated on time. Arrears records maintained, communication records maintained, maintenance records maintained, and of course, registration on the portals that will come through at the end of the year.
As I said, a full-time job and a half.
Yeah.